agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes to the last board meeting? Any corrections or additions or subtractions?
Perfect as always.
Accept the motion to,
I'll move we accept the minutes as published.
I'll second it.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. John, financial report, please.
Okay, the financial report of the Greensburg Municipal Airport, we got the three separate accounts. In the airport improvement account, the current balance $513,473.76. Aviation rotary fuel account, $129,762.46. In airport operations, $416,129.42. Total for all four accounts combined, actually four accounts because there is a fourth account at Jackson County Bank, the transitional account between the loan and coming to us, but the total of all four accounts, $1,059,967.64.
Okay. Mr. Feister, update on construction.
Yes, that's right, Bill. Good evening, everyone. Several things to update you on. I know the runway's open, but there's still a lot of work going on. You have minutes from the last two progress meetings with the information I handed out to you. But essentially, to summarize, there's about three things left to do for the paving and lighting project. The most important would be the trimming of the trees on both ends of the runway. We've got a little bit more to take off so that we clear the 34:1 approach surfaces. That's important to do as the FAA writes the procedures for those runways. We want to make sure we're under the 34:1 so we can get you the best landing minimums as possible. So that is supposed to take place next week, I believe. There's some negotiation going back and forth with the subcontractor on the price to do that work. Once that is done, we also have to do the final seeding for the project. We finished up some touch-up grading, but we're waiting on the final price for the additional tree work to possibly do some soil enhancements that will get us better growth from the grass seeding, but we have to have the budget for it. So those items are still getting worked out. We're close. Once we get the trees trimmed, then we'll be able to do the seeding and wrap that up. We also have the flight check scheduled on October 12th at 2:30 local, and that will be an FAA flight check to verify your PAPIs are correct.
Will they do a nighttime check also,
They will come back and do a nighttime check for the reels.
the same day?
I don't know if it'll be the same day, but the 2:30 on the 12th is for the PAPIs, and the electrical contractor will be on site to communicate with them if they need to make adjustments while they're here doing the flight check. And that should be with the King Air. It's usually what they bring. They come out of Battle Creek. So that's the construction update. There are three action items related to the paving and lighting project. The first one is a motion to approve AIP 20, FAA partial pay request number 16, in the amount of $290,174.03. This is your 100% federally funded grant, and it's for runway 119 paving and lighting.
I'll make a motion to approve AIP 20 in the amount of $290,174.03.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Second motion is for your second grant for the paving and lighting project, and that would be a motion to approve AIP 21, FAA partial pay request number 9, in the amount of $208,010.38. The federal share is $187,209. State and local shares are $10,400, again, for the paving and lighting project.
I'll move we approve AIP 21, partial pay number 9, in the amounts as listed.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved.
So just for reference, that takes AIP 21 to 82% complete. And for AIP 20, we're at 93% complete. So for that one, we can do one drawdown above 90%, and we need the certificate of substantial completion for. So once we have that signed by the contractor, we can move forward with the drawdown for AIP 20. But both of those partial pay requests pertain to contractors' progress estimate number 9 for Dave O'Mara contractors. So that's the third motion, to approve progress estimate 9 in the amount of $498,184.41 for Dave O'Mara contractors for the runway 119 paving and lighting project.
I make a motion to approve contractor's progress estimate number 9 to Dave O'Mara in the amount listed.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, just a few other updates related to, well, not really related to the runway project, but related to what the runway can bring to the airport. For the C2 apron that we want to use the bill funding for, we did have a conversation with the FAA regarding the ALP exhibits that the board approved a few months ago. They didn't really have any comments on them, so I think we're in a good spot to get our 163 determination from the FAA, which just says, you know, it's shown on the ALP, we're building this project on airport property. We will need to do the CADEX for the environmental assessment still. Once those are in place, the FAA should green light using the bill funds to get started with that project. Related to that, though, is your CIP. It is Capital Improvement Program season, and the CIP is due December 1st. So the back of the packet information I gave you is the draft version of the CIP. We will take board action on it next month, but it's been drafted so you can see what's planned for the next 6 years. And there are actually a few changes that I am proposing to it. They're not shown on what you have, but I was planning to discuss those with Bill after the meeting for next month when we bring the final version for board approval. That's all I have, unless there are any questions.
Approach plates. How long do we anticipate before we'll have approach plates?
So right now, your approaches are scheduled to publish July, I believe, 16th of 2024. The design data has been entered into the FAA's information portal, which is what they will build the approaches off of. They build the approaches off of the design data, and then once the runway's been completed, which it has, we have to collect the as-built data and put that in the information portal for the FAA to verify that what was actually built matched the design information. So BFNS has a sub-consultant called NV5 to collect the as-built information. They're supposed to do it in October. I talked to them this week on the schedule. I don't have a specific schedule yet, but they have to collect that and enter it into ADIP for the procedures to be written. The collection of that data is not really the hang-up right now. The issue was because of the extra construction season, we didn't open the runway when we anticipated opening it originally. And when you are requesting a date for procedures from the FAA, they give you a date that's 2 to 3 years out from the date you request. And 3 years ago, when we said when the runway would be open, we missed, obviously, because of the extra season. So when you miss your target date, they don't just put you in the next one, they pull you out and put you at the back of the line. which happened to be July of 2024. So,
Now, is that gonna be GPS approach both ends down to 300 feet?
I don't know what they'll write the minimums for. I do think it'll be 3/4 mile. So your height may go as low as 250.
Really?
It depends on what obstructions they find, which is why we're trying to make sure we get the trees cleared, because it's not easy to go and amend an approach. We want it done the right way the first time. So,
Now, when the FAA flies the PAPIs, what, are they just gonna say that they're at 3 degrees, or 3
That's-
degrees?
that's what they're checking for, 3 degrees and what they see when they're off center line
Okay.
laterally. So I don't anticipate any significant issues coming out of flight check for the PAPIs, but.
I presume we've flown those, or someone from BFS has flown those already and checked it, am I wrong, or?
Yeah, so Paul and Andrew have flown in
Okay.
and didn't see anything that would suggest it was wildly different from 3 degrees.
Okay.
The PAPI units themselves also have a digital calibration tool, so
Yeah.
you can open the side door and it will tell you what it's set to. So the FAA flight check is really just a verification that what we're seeing is in fact correct.
Okay. Anything else for Mr. Feister? Okay, thank you, sir.
Yep, thank you.
John?
Yeah, just briefly, we've crafted a thank you letter of appreciation that goes to the manager of the FAA there in Chicago. Just gave you a copy of that right there. There's Bill and I and the mayor sign on the back here. If there was more room, we'd have all of us sign right there, but they'd at least, after $14 million, would at least give a letter of appreciation anyway. So Bill's taken it even a step further. He's done it more personally, actually giving them phone calls to INDOT and the others.
I called,
Yeah.
I was trying to call Sandy Lyman. Do you remember Sandy Lyman?
Yes.
She has since retired from the first time I met her 22 years ago, so it took a while.
We're here.
Okay. Jerry Scheidler.
Well, the comments I've gotten on people using the new runway, everybody's pleased with it, glad we've got it. I don't know that there's been activity we haven't seen before, because freight could be coming in during the night or anytime I'm not there and I'd never know it. But I caught wind right off the bat that somebody thought that there had been some freight came in. So I think we'll see more and more of that as time goes on. In other news, you just got a thing on your desk there from Great Plains. I met with the representative from Great Plains, and he says we can get internet, fiber internet at the airport, and the costs are listed on that piece of paper there. It would also include a telephone from them, which according to figures here and what I've seen on the financials, it's quite a bit cheaper to go with Great Plains than to stay with Frontier. Plus Frontier's service has not been real good the last few years. They have to keep coming out and finding another set of wires they can hook up with, because it still works. So anyhow, it's up to you guys, I guess, to decide if you want to do this or not. But I think with the security system that's being talked about, we'd be able to monitor that from our cell phones if we got good internet out there. So
Just replace both the internet and the Frontier phone service, right?
Right.
Okay.
this is a 300 speed. He said that in order for it to work for them, they have a formula they use. You know, they needed something at least this many megabits, bytes, whatever they are, to make it worth their while to put it in. So I guess that has something to do with the price per month also. But anyhow, the figures are there. The phone's basically $33.50 a month and $139.95 for the internet. And there'd be no charges for installation.
They've got a good reputation for good service. Is this fiber optic, or do you know?
Yes, it's
It
fiber.
is fiber optic. Okay. I would be I'd be in favor of doing it. There's discussion.
to upgrade the fiber over the phone line for the security reasons and anything else that we ever want to do. I think it would be a great opportunity for us, kind of great upgrade for us.
We need a motion, do we? If there's no other discussion, I'll make a motion that we go with this proposed service order for the Great Plains as listed here.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Okay. I'll let the man know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Buildings. Kevin,
Yes, sir.
what are the prices on the two buildings? The lean-to and the standalone?
Okay. The lean-to total was $34,950. The standalone building was $47,750.
How many doors on the standalone?
There was 2 doors, one on each end, and a walk-in door.
Do we need 2 drive-through doors and a third 10-foot overhead door so you can drive a pickup truck in while the tractor and stuff are in and not have to take the tractor out?
Don't suppose it would hurt anything. And I also talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he said that, he would be, willing to work with us on any changes. So, I mean, I can contact him and ask him.
Why don't you contact them and ask them? And I'll get with Amy to find out how much money we have available.
Okay, so you're talking about in the standalone, not in the lean-to, correct?
Right.
A 10-foot.
The lean-to would just be a drive-through.
Yeah. 10-foot wide by how tall?
Tall enough to drive the tractor through.
Even for the third door?
Yeah.
For the third door?
Yeah. You don't know what we're gonna come up with in the future.
That's true, that's true. I'm just, I just didn't know if we needed quite that high for the, okay, all right.
Okay. Approval of the bills. Everybody had a chance to see the bills, the revisions?
Yeah, he's got us a late revision, so those are added into the spreadsheet here that was passed out, so.
She doesn't have it total.
They're totaled on the spreadsheet, however,
On the
so.
spreadsheet,
yeah.
okay.
I got a question. Does she have the bill from QT Pod on there? I took it into her, that comes through
Yes.
email.
Yeah, it's on here.
Okay, that needs to be paid pretty soon here. I contacted them, they said it'd be a few days late, so, it came in after the last meeting and it's due the 10th, which is only 3 days away, but, it needs to be on there to be approved, so if it is.
It's on here for $1,425.
Right, that's it.
Yeah, it's on here.
Okay. I'll accept the motion to approve the bills.
If there's no other discussion, I'll move we pay the bills as listed here.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. And that included the others set of bills too, for the salaries and so forth. Okay. Any comments from the board or the audience? Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Of course, congratulations again on the completion of the project. That's very exciting. It's sort of an update we have after a little bit of switching around to find something a little better. We actually do have the courtesy car project wrapped up and complete. So that project sort of coming to an end. We'll get that licensed and moved out to the airport. It will remain sort of under our insurance and all of those different items. We've gone through all that project. I've, I think, secured us a way to have a check-in process that will have some accountability. So that'll include a lockbox out there. We'll get that ordered for the key, and they'll have to call and give license number, et cetera, like that. We're gonna try that out, but that will be available and then sort of be the airport's responsibility to take care of and maintain. But
Will it have sirens and lights?
it does not. All of the fun stuff has been stripped out. I'm sorry. But just
We've already paid for an oil change, so we're good to go.
yeah, there's a few more parts and pieces that are coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
But overall, it's a pretty good car for not much money, and that was a part of the delay. Is we had one going out, and then this one was coming along to go out, and we were like, well, let's do that one. So that's what's taken us a minute, but that project's well underway. We will also, Kristen is also working on updating the city's airport page with the new information, and I think we had somebody call the other day about runway length and et cetera. So we're getting all of that updated as well. And BF&S was kind enough to fly it at the ribbon cutting for sort of an entire length drone shot after we were all done for the day. So we're going to try to maybe get that incorporated too. So that's the update.
Yeah, thanks for the car, by the way.
Yep, that works.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other comments, or I accept the motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Adjourn.